So on the 21st day of the TradeFlow competition, we are really coming into the last last 10 days of the competition clearly. And you can see that I've just been dialed in to the absolute max, especially when it comes to just managing my shorts. First thing that I want to showcase you guys is a little bit of where we started off and where we came from, right? So off of this leg, you can see that this was the most recent bearish leg to the downside. This was obviously that shift, and then we were pyramiding all the way down. And our goal, what I want you guys to understand is our goal, and this is obviously already on the 21st, right? But coming into the 21st, you can understand that the main goal was this array. So what we're doing is we're trading from levels, premium, extreme premium, and trading into arrays. We've talked about this in Anomaly sequence, H1, H4. You have your bias, you have your daily bias, you have your weekly bias, and you're trading from levels into arrays, arrays into levels, or levels into levels. Each of them respectfully being the order of highest probability into lowest probability, right? Levels into arrays is the easiest, right? Because an array is an area where price can top or bottom out. Arrays into levels is a little bit harder because you need confirmation. You can't just take an entry off of an array, right? You need to see if that array will hold, but trading into an array is a guarantee, right? Trading away from an array, you need more confirmations. Price needs to pick up the designated liquidity to go from that level to go from that array into a level. So I hope that you guys are understanding exactly how we're doing this. This is my highest probable scenario, is trading from expensive levels into arrays, and that's exactly why I'm very content with that. So that's why I am aggressively pyramiding to the downside here. So let's kind of break it down what happened, right? If we go into the 15-minute from last video, you should already kind of be able to see it. So we're holding these, we close these pretty much at these levels right here, right? Kind of that, like what I said, we're going into those previous daily levels right here. It's not rocket science. It shouldn't be difficult for you to understand that if we're targeting previous daily low and we open our TV, we go to the day before, the prior low, right? The day before low, not any Asia stuff, Asia high, Asia lows. No, true day lows, right? Very simple. From here, you can see, what do we actually get that is really nice to hold? It is these levels right here that we can then extend and then participate one more time to go into, who would have thought, the H4 proximal line. The H4 proximal line will act as your target to the downside. So this one was very interesting, right? I'm not gonna beat around the bush and say that this was textbook. You can see that I'm already on M5, and this is where it got a little bit iffy. Again, what do? We want continuation shorts. We need confirmation that price is actually short. So in this case, this is not a BPR, excuse my text here, but just that you get the gist, right? We understand that we want price to really show confirmations of sell side in that -1 standard deviation of Asia, right? From this range, we want price in this area to showcase some sort of continuation to the downside. Our target is clear, right? If I just remove everything and I give you guys a clean chart to look at, right, you will understand that it is clear as such, like that. And if we get rid of this one as well, you will see, hey, that H4 proximal was here, right? This was where that H4 proximal will be. And that is exactly what we're playing, right? And we need confirmations below this price. So below that Asia low right here, we want there to be confirmation that price is holding. How do we do that? We look at bearish arrays, and we can do that one more time on M15. And the first one that forms on M15 is going to be the one that gives us a confirmation. And that, nevertheless, is this one, right here. All of this, I don't look at. This for me, look, we have an order block, no intent. You can see that price is still struggling with that. If you trade order flow, learn to look at this, right? Sellers pushing price lower on M15, buyers still pushing price higher, closing above that interim low. Yes, there is no follow through, but that follow through would give you buy side confirmations for a short-term upside. So what you're doing is you're making sure that there's confirmation for downside. So under that trigger right here, where you see buy side would have been confirmed, acting as some sort of liquidity sweep, run on liquidity, a confirmation for buy side, you need the anti-vision for you to confirm sell side. How do we do that? With the creation of a bearish imbalance. And just as we do that, my alerts go off, I'm behind the screens, and I go to M5. On M5, that gives me the opportunity to then look for, hey, this entire leg right here is below, right? We're closing this level right here. We are at sell side right here. Sure, on M5, you can see that there were numerous different occasions where there was bearish arrays being created, but this was the one that I wanted, right? This was the one that was confirmed by and M15 and the bearish array on M15. So what we actually did from there is we went into a short position right here, isolated high in my opinion, going for this, right to that level. And that's exactly what I wanted to see, stacking pretty much everything from all of these positions as well, going into that, as you can see, I was well off. This was the level, this was the proximal of that H1, H4 imbalance, and that got us all the way lower. So I hope that that is something that you guys recognize as well. That was the stack of all those days into a Tuesday. So Friday, Monday, and Tuesday shorts coming into effect, yielding me a good 60, nearly 70% on the competition, giving me that number 2 spot already, which was very, very nice. Having a very, very good lead, and I break down the rest of the videos for you as well, the rest of the 3rd week of the competition.